Combo fields are a unique and very important feature of Guild Wars 2's combat, especially in competitive modes. I'm Surma, and today I explain everything you need to know about combo field. So let me start by explaining what it does. So there are some skill types that are labeled as combo fields, and some skills that are labeled as combo finishers. Both need to be interacting at the same time so that the combo occurs. Combo fields are created by a special type of area of effect skills, and combo finishers are special skills that either move or travel through the field. For instance, combo fields would be something like fire or water fields, and combo finishers, for example, a projectile finisher or a leap finisher. There are some limitations to combo fields. For example, at only 5 unique combatants can combo in a given combo field, and that you will see a notification when you combo with a field or you created a field and someone else combos in this. So now I will explain everything about the special types and what they provide and when to use them. If you want to see the whole list, you can also go to the wiki. So there are 4 different types of finishers, and all of them have a unique effect. So let's start by the most basic one. It's a leap finisher. So whenever your character or whatever uses the leap, does this in a combo field, it will create an effect around the target, or depending on the finisher it is used, on the player themselves. And you have projectile finishers. They impact either the target enemy or the ally within a 240 radius of the target. So it's most likely an arrow or something that flies through the field, and when it hits, it will create a special effect. This is the most common one, but it's also the weakest one. Then you have whirl finishers. That's when you use a whirl attack into a combo field. This will launch multiple projectiles in random directions. And the last one is a blast finisher. That's probably the strongest one in most situations. That's an AoE effect of 360 radius within the blast area, and it can also affect enemies or allies depending on the finisher that was used, or the field that was used, that is. When applicable, the stats of the character who activated the finisher are used to determine the combo effect. This is particularly important for combos that deal damage or for the healing effects of water fields. All finishers are available to all professions, but some are locked behind elite specs. Combo finishers that propel the player, such as swoop or acid bomb, will trigger their finisher effect upon making their first contact with a combo field at any stage of the movement. But the combo effect indicator only confirms that the combo was successful. The finisher still needs to hit the target for the effect to take place. That's especially important, for example, if you want to stealth. You have to finish your attack and then you get the stealth. You can't just see the confirmation that the combo was there and stop the attack. It won't work. Your fields have priority for you. That means that if there are multiple fields down, you will use the field that you created to combo. This can use to your advantage, of course, but you have to be aware of that. And oldest fields are prioritized before newer ones. This means a field that is slowly running out will be prioritized over one that you just created. Keep that in mind as well. Here you can see images how the fields are displayed, because of course every attack has a special, let's say, animation, but they are all, depending on their combo fields, displayed as, let's say, a typical dark field or a typical chaos field. Keep that in mind. Most of the time you won't see that in the clutter of the current Guild Wars 2 gameplay, but you can differentiate between the fields just by checking the borders. So now here is a list of all the available combos and which classes can create them. I will now point out and explain the most important and most used ones, but of course that can vary from game mode to game mode and from player to player. So we have some more common ones and some more, let's say, special combo fields. I will go over the special ones first because they are really rare occasion where I would use them. For example, dark fields, ethereal fields, to some extent poison fields. Those are the most, let's say, rare ones, because they also provide the least value most of the times. There's some kind of typical effect for every, let's say, field. So a blast finisher oftentimes, or most of the times, does the same as a leap finisher, but it's not a single target, it's an area of effect. And therefore it's almost all the time it's stronger than the leap finisher. The projectile finisher is mostly just one effect that is applied in conjunction with the normal projectile effect, which can be very good in some circumstances. Most of the times it's not that strong. And the whirl finisher is really close to the projectile finisher, just that it's randomly spawning bolts in different directions. So it has almost the same effects. The dark fields, projectile finishers and whirl finishers steal health when you hit with this. The ethereal field applies confusion. The fire field applies burning to projectiles. The ice field applies chill. This can be really strong, for example on Reaper, because where you get damage from chill every time you proc it, because it's just 1 second for the burning and the chill. Therefore it's most of the time not that strong, but if you can get some other value from this proc, then it's strong. And the light field is actually one of the better ones, because you get remove a condition from the bolt or the projectile, really good. The lightning field applies some vulnerability. This can be used to stack up quite a lot of vulnerability. Then you have the poison field, of course applies poison with the bolts. The smoke field applies blindness. That's actually also not that bad if you can utilize it well. And the water field will just apply some regeneration. So that's it for the projectile and the whirl finishers. Like I said, those the most impactful ones for most classes. Now to the leap finishers. They are a lot more, let's say, potent. So the dark aura is okay, and the chaos aura can be really good if you get some weakness out of it. Fire aura, yes, not that crazy good, but for example on Catalyst it's really nice because you get stability, so there is some quite nice interactions you can do in some classes. But in general, these three are not that good. Now we get to the little bit better ones. Frost aura decreases your damage taking a bit, and also applies chills. That's really good actually. The light aura is also nice because it also decreases your damage a bit. Your damage you take. And the dazing strike is actually not an aura. That's an exception to the typical leap finishers. And it will just daze the target for 1 second when you hit with the skill, the leap finisher. That's actually really good and is highly underrated. And then you have the weakness application from the poison field. It's actually really long-lasting weakness. It's really good. But most of the time you don't really want to jump to a poison field just to apply weakness, so it's not that commonly used. Then the smoke field. This is actually the most used jump finisher, most probably for thieves at least, because you want to stealth. You get 3 seconds of stealth when you finish your combo field. Really strong. And then the water field, that's probably the most potent one for all classes except thief, because that's just applying some healing amount depending on your healing power. Really strong, but was a little bit outscaled of the, let's say, power creep now, but still is a really good effect. Especially, for example, on Ranger in PvP right now, you get a lot of combo fields with this. And then the blast finishers, like I said, most of the time it's just an AoE effect of the leap finisher. Dark field is an exception. You get AoE blindness, can be good, but most of the time not important. The ethereal field chaos armor AoE is really good because it can apply some really nasty conditions AoE if you get hit. Then area might on fire field is really strong. You can stack up 25 might easily when you use your full party. Especially in old dungeon or fractal runs, that was the most important thing. Nowadays it's not that hard to get 25 stacks of might, even in combat anymore, so it's not that important. And then you have the ice field, area frost aura, quite nice, especially in World vs. World. Then area condi cleanse can be useful in the light field if you time it correctly. If you don't have any conditions to cleanse, it's a null effect, so not that good. And in a lightning field, area swiftness is quite nice to stack up some movement speed. For example, on the start of a PvP match or something, can be useful. And then now we get to the really strong ones. Area weakness is only 3 seconds, but it's really strong if you can apply that in a team fight or an AoE where all 5 targets are hit by this. Really strong, it decreases the damage and the endurance region by quite a lot of the enemies. And then you have area stealth, that's really strong in all game modes. You can easily outplay opponents or enemies with this. You can skip mobs in dungeons and fractals, you can disengage, you can engage from stealth. It's really, really strong. It's most likely the strongest ones in the whole field and finishers combo. And then we get to the last one, the most useful one in, let's say, most circumstances, is the area healing effect of the water field with a blast finisher. It's really strong if you can use that in the right time. It's a little bit weaker because of the power creep, just like the leap finisher, because a lot of classes have even more potent healing skills. But for example, Elementalist can combo so many blast finishers in a water field that it can easily sustain itself just by using water fields. So that's it for the most, let's say, general combo fields and when to use them. If you have any questions, please let me know in the comments. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to leave a like. If you want to see more guides like this, don't forget to subscribe. And thanks for watching. I hope to see you in the next video.